We are lucky enough to have Kay Baker.
That's right.
Who holds so many roles within Glencrop Center for Modern Aging and is really, one of our most instrumental figures when it comes to Zolife. So Kay, thank you for coming on our show.
My pleasure. Oh, go ahead. So Kay is the director of our emotional pillar. And so we wanted her to talk a little bit about what that means, what the emotional pillar means. And then we're going to get into a couple of other things as well. But tell us a little bit about how important the emotional pillar is and why you became so interested in it.
Well, when Steve and I first started talking about the university, it was a near and dear thing to my heart. I feel like, our residents, what was missing was this educational piece. They want to be lifelong learners. And when we were discussing pillars, the emotional pillar really hit home with me. I have a very good friend at Midwestern who is in the psychology department, and I thought, I gotta call her first. So as you know, I called her first, and to be on our radio show, we called her months, but it took about 1.5 years to get her freed up at school so she could come out and teach. And when Steve and I met with her, it just resonated because she said something to us. Can I talk about real things? So many places she had gone said, don't talk about sadness. Don't talk about depression. But the truth of it is, that is affecting so many of us, not just the residents, but the staff and people in life.
And to not be able to talk about it makes it 10,000 times worse.
Right, and it's something that we really shouldn't bury. So she said, if you'll let me come talk, I will talk about the real things. And she did. And we've gotten so much feedback about that. Not because everybody wants to talk about depression or sadness, but there is a place for it. And it's part of aging, it's part of life. And when you ignore it, you miss out on a huge part of life that you could deal with.
And who she's talking about, of course, is Melissa Flint. And we had her on the show, about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, that's right.
And so she talked a little bit about maneuvering through the holidays and that type of thing. There's a great article coming out in this week's edition of Zolife magazine that she wrote as well. But she was absolutely the gem that you found and that you were friends with for the emotional pillar. Yeah,
and we just built on that. And then I got the privilege of actually filling 43 classes, basically. I had lots of help, but we were able to fill that first semester that came off really well, and then just this last one, and we're already working on the next one.
It's crazy to think back how we started in that just little conversation of how these 6 pillars could be educated to and taught to. And to the point now in the last semester, we were building a waiting list, waiting for spring from lecturers and other professors from Grand Canyon and Midwestern reaching out and saying I heard what you guys are doing, and we want in.
That's right.
And I think it's important for people to realize that these lectures that you get, we're not paying them anything.
No.
This is all because they bought in on this concept. So maybe talk through, because I think it's important for our viewers to know the dynamics of that they come here out of the goodness of their heart.
Absolutely. Lots of them take time out of work, lawyers, doctors that have to reschedule their professors. And, it really is a gift to us because they do this just because they really want to be a part of it. They see the value, and especially the professors at Midwestern, something that's so fun is they're used to teaching kids and they feel the same energy when they come teach our residents.
Right.
The feedback, not only from the residents, but from them, it's a win-win. But to the point where I just got off the phone 5 minutes ago with somebody who taught the spring semester and said, hey, I think you might be coming back to the spring and I really want to be a part of it. So
that's so cool.
That's so wonderful.
I think the other thing that viewers need to understand is we sit down with every lecture that comes through and completely vet them in the process.
Oh, absolutely.
Of what they're going to be talking about, what they're bringing to the table. This isn't a sales pitch. This is very much only an educational platform on whatever the topic was. So expand on that.
Well, and I do. I talk to every single one of them. Nobody comes on our campus that we don't personally know. One of us or somebody or one of the lecturers has a friend. And we make it really clear, this is not a sales pitch. This isn't to promote your business. This is to promote learning. And they all buy into that. And they're all like, yes, I get it. I want to get out the information. I want to help your residents learn things they wouldn't learn any other way.
That's right. And now we've started this same type of university structure at Providence Place.
I know, that's super exciting.
And so we've been doing it through beta, and we've done our third one. We're actually on our fourth one this week. And some of the feedback we have is like, finally, we're getting a little attention over here, but we want to learn too,
exactly.
right? Like that
Yes,
we don't want to be piped in on what you do over there in the performance. So we want our own thing. So that's a whole different can of worms of getting them very targeted and specific lectures that can help that building.
And the attendance on the lectures over there have just been phenomenal.
They really have.
So engaging.
That's
It's been
super.
great.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
One other thing that Kay is working on, and we want to make sure that she mentions it on the show today, is of course the tax credit. We want to make sure that everybody understands exactly what is involved in that. And so we've asked Kay to tell you just a little bit more. I know you've heard her speak at the GCA. Well, actually she's going to be speaking coming up. She spoke in church on Sunday. And so we just want her to explain a little bit about the tax credit and how you can help with that.
Well, the Arizona tax credit is actually one of those things that sounds too good to be true. And it really is true. You can give part of your Arizona tax money, you can designate to a qualifying organization, which is Glencroft. So if you pay, let's say you only pay $200 in Arizona taxes, you can give that money to us. Write us a check for $200. When you do your tax return, you say, I gave it to Glencroft, and you will get it back. I can tell you this works. We all do it. I've done it for 15 years. And so as a single person, you can file up to $400, and married couple $800. And it just is simply an opportunity for you to get to designate where your tax money goes. And the reason it sounds too good to be true is because you pay the same amount, whether you pay it to the Arizona state and let them decide what to do with it, or you give it to Glencroft, qualifying organization, and we do with it helping residents. All the money we get from the Arizona tax credit goes directly to programs and services for our residents. So, I mean, it really is, it sounds confusing, and I would love to talk to any of you if you have questions. I know it sounds confusing, but it's really much simpler than it sounds. So call me. Can I give out my phone number?
Of course.
Okay, 623-847-3199.
I think that helps.
I do too.
I think hearing it is like Dr. Denbauer last week, hearing it from the horse's mouth.
That's right.
You know, a lot of people misconstrue what that tax credit is, and it's so simple.
Yeah.
In the way you guys execute in your team of, hey, the money's in, it's going right to the benevolent fund, or it's going to these specific programs, and it's all
To the Zoe Life
empower.
program.
Yeah, and
You can help promote that.
Designate where you want
That's
it to
right,
go.
so-
yeah.
Well, and I would like to say that a lot of how we got this started was from tax dollars.
That's right.
And so it really does benefit our residents. And to those of you who have family that are paying Arizona taxes, they're gonna pay it anyway. It's not like it's an extra amount. You're gonna pay it one way or the other. So you might as well designate. And you can give to the schools. Don't wanna miss that, because people get confused with
Right.
that. They have grandkids or they have children that go to schools. You can give to both without affecting one or the other.
That's actually what we've done in the past as well, because we have quite a few children that are in schools.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much for
thank
being
you.
on
Well, it's
the
my
show.
pleasure.
Really
Thanks for having me.
appreciate it, and this is great information. Thank you.